Hey, what up guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Kellen Time, and this one today should be pretty fun. We're kind of looking at modified Speedmasters. I don't know, that's not that common, but people do it. Now I'll start off saying this isn't my watch. This is a watch I was looking at. A friend let me borrow it, and it's really cool. So without all that, I'll just jump into it and take a look at what we're looking at here. So this is, let me wipe that off for you. This started out as, and it probably still looks like to most of you guys, a first Omega in space Speedmaster. And if you don't know, I won't get into all the details of what people call the FOIS or first Omega in space, but it was a limited numbered edition that Omega did to kind of commemorate, like what Omega does with every Speedmaster, a space watch, or the first space watch that went into space in '62. This watch came out in 2012, I believe, and they were numbered limited editions. And the big difference between these and the other modern Speedmasters at the time, or even today, was that it was straight lugs, no crown guards. I believe it's 39 mil, and they did a little bit of visual stuff to make them look like the original Omegas that went in, Speedmasters that went into space. Now, what you can see here is the handset is original. So it's the the handset that you would get with the Omega Speedmaster, first Omega in space, or the Alpha hands. The movement is original. It's the 1861, and the case and crystal are original. Now, what's been modified on this watch is actually the dial, and the dial was done to give it an even more vintage look, or maybe not vintage look, but a more true representation of the dial that was used in the watch in 1962. And I wish I had my Speedmaster here to compare, but I actually just sold it, so it's not there. But the thing, if you look at the Omega font and the applied logo, it looks remarkably different than what was on what should be in the first Omega in space. So the logo, the font is spread out a little bit more on this one, and this dial is actually from a 90s 3594.50. So you basically what my buddy Mike did was he took his first Omega in space, kept everything except for he swapped in a dial that was a better representation with that logo and font writing that you can see there. The other small detail that's really hard to tell, and again, I wish I had one to compare, is on the first Omega in space, the minute hash markers, or I guess they're more seconds, the small hash marks in between the minute markers. You can see on this dial there are 4. On the Omega FOIS dial, there's only 2. So just a couple little things that he did to kind of make it look a little bit more true in representation to the original. I thought it was pretty cool. I've had a chance to wear this a little bit. Obviously, you can see he wears it. It's not a safe queen by any means. It's not beat up. It's in still really good shape. But just something that I thought was really cool, and I wanted to show you guys. He also has a kind of like a vintage flat link bracelet for it. I threw it on this leather just because I needed something to fit my wrist, and I didn't want to adjust his bracelet or anything. So threw it on this and think it looks pretty good. There is a couple other ones floating around that people have done that they take it one step further, and they'll tint the loom, or faux tina the loom, or faux age the loom, or whatever you want to say. This one isn't. This one's just original and all done. So it still glows, and it's still primarily white. It does have a slight, if you held it up to a brand new modern Speedmaster, the minute markers aren't going to be quite as starch white. They've got some warmth to it that you can kind of see, but it's not faux or faked by any means. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this one. I thought it was pretty cool. It's one of those watches that, if I just had this on my wrist and I didn't say anything, most people wouldn't really catch it. You know what I mean? It's not that it's something that jumps out. It's really something that you have to kind of be looking for or know exactly what you're looking for. And even if I held these two next to each other, that font difference and the applied logo difference is fairly small. So it's not something that would really jump out at you. But when you see it, and then the hash markers, and it all kind of comes together, and the baton hands on the sub registers being all white, pretty cool. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff, guys, if you're interested in stuff. I've got a ton of other videos. I've got some more watches coming, so thanks for joining. Later.